Hey everybody, so I'm going to do a quick product review of this new small animal cage that I got. It's really for, I think it's really better for mice, hamsters, gerbils maybe, but I think it's the best for fancy mice. I've heard people's reviews. They said their hamster would get caught between this bar and it was a safety hazard between the top shelf. But there are things you can do to prevent that, such as zip tying it to the edge, or things like that. So I haven't had any issues with my mice, and they love this cage. They really do. And I really like this cage as well. Before, I had these 3 females in a 10-gallon aquarium, and I think aquariums are great. They're a good alternative, cheap alternative to wire cages like this. They're pretty easy to clean, but they're kind of hard to move. I just thought they're a little bulky. I don't love them, and the air circulation isn't as good as a cage like this. So I'll just go over some of the things I like about this, the things don't like so much, and I'll just get into some of the details. So this cage I did buy on Petco, and unknowing to me, Amazon and Walmart had it $10 cheaper, so I should have looked around a little more. But this cage, I got it for $50. Amazon and Walmart have it for $40, so I think it's a good investment. It's relatively on the cheap side. It's a decent cage. I mean, the price is a little high, I would say, but I really do like the cage. And on to some of the features here. So what is really great about this is this whole top piece lifts up off. So it's kind of hard to get off, but that's a good thing because you don't want your mice or whatever you have in here escaping. So I can't really do it now. I'd have to kind of shift stuff around to try to pull this off. So it is a very tight seal. You can see that spacing is really, really ideal for mice. It's, I think they said, what did they say, 5/16 or something? I don't know, something like that. But it is very great for fancy mice here. So the spacing is perfect, even for hamsters as well. So the bar spacing is what you want. I do have my water bottle hanging on the edge here. You can get one that hangs on the bars as well. So that's the water bottle I have in there. This little grate thing is really cool because you can lift it right up and put your hand in there. It stays up on its own, so you don't have to lift the top off every time. And, you can get your hand in there. So that's really a good feature. And you can also pick this up. This is how I would clean it. I would pull, this is all one piece really. It's just kind of snapped together. So if you lift this off, you can dump out the tray really easy. So one thing I will say is this came with a barred bottom, which you don't want for mice and other small animals. Their feet can get something called bumblefoot, and it can cause sores on their feet if they walk on it too much. So as you can see, this was a shelf with bars, but I covered it with cardboard so that it's easier on their feet. The only bars I have really is this ladder, and I might replace that as well. So, but the shelf is really great for them to go exploring. They like, getting up there into the little house. They do go to the bathroom often in there, so it does have to be cleaned regularly, but really no more so than any other enclosed house. So, but they really like it up there, and they'll try to squeeze themselves on top of the house roof and just sit up there, even though they're not that small. But they really like it, and they love climbing stuff, whereas in the glass aquarium, they can't climb the walls really. You have to think of alternatives to give them to start climbing and exploring. So the wire cage, that's why I do like these a little bit better. It does have a ton of space. As you can see, I easily fit my 3 mice in here. I wouldn't do any more than 3. 3 might be pushing it a little in this size cage. It's 23 inches by 12 and a quarter, I think. So it is a larger surface area on the bottom than even my glass tank, so that is good. I give them about an extra 3 inches on either side. So I also have my wheel in there, so that's a mesh wheel, so it fits perfectly. This cage does come with 2 shelves, 2 houses, and 2 ladders, which the other one would go over there, but my wheel is too tall to fit the other shelf, so I did keep just 1 shelf and put the wheel over here, and that gives them more space anyway. So yeah, so that other shelf is not there, where it does come with it, but I haven't put it in. And a little bit about the bottom. It is a deep bottom pan, so it is great. They don't often kick any of this bedding out, which is awesome. I thought that they might, but they don't. And it goes, the bar support goes all the way down to the bottom, so there's no chance of them pushing up through that. See that? So they can't really chew this plastic because it's all barred. So that's great too. And that's pretty much it. I've got an igloo, another little cup here, and then their food dishes back there, and I've got a couple other toys. But overall, I really, really am happy with this cage. Was it on the more expensive side? Yes, but for a wire cage like this that has enough space, that's not too small, it really was perfect, and it really works well for mice. I would definitely suggest getting it for mice. I have seen people with hamsters in here, but as I said, the main complaint was that they get stuck between these bars. So, but there are ways to fix that, but if you don't want to risk it, go with a different cage. But if you guys have any questions about it, I'll probably make an update video to let you know, how this is going after I've had it for a bit, and if I still like it enough to use it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment in the box below. Thanks.